Hi, my name's Jen. Welcome to my channel, All My Plants. Today I'm doing my very favoriteest plant chore. And I'm not being sarcastic, because it's my very favoriteest. I find it the most relaxing of any plant chore, and if I could, that is the only plant chore I'd ever do. Some people are root people, some people are leaf people. I am a leaf person. I enjoy leaf chores more than root chores, like repotting, trying to fix root rot, pest treating for, mealy bugs, root mealies. I'm a leaf person. And my very favorite leaf-related chore, this plant is going to sleep. It's 5:16, the leaves are starting to move up, is actually cleaning the leaves. I love it. I love it. Your plant appreciates it. It's just my favorite. This is just plain water and an old dish rag, and now some dish soap. Just whatever. You can use Castile soap. I had some. I apparently didn't bring it up here. I usually just use dish soap though, or hand soap even. And 70% isopropyl alcohol. And I just wipe them down. And I just wipe them down. And it is my favorite thing in the world. Well, my house is dusty, so it really does make a big difference as far as the appearance of the plant. That, and it gives me time to really look at each leaf, to really appreciate that plant, to really pest inspect it. I don't know, it's that one-on-one time with the plant. I don't know, it's my favorite plant chore. It is my favorite. I love doing it. I try to get the petioles too when I'm leaf wiping. Some plants it's a little bit easier than others. I'll get what I can anyway. And I'm not saying I never miss a leaf, because like I even do Hoyas, like hanging Hoyas. I have some that are 5 foot long and full to the bottom of leaves. And with a lot of Hoya, that's a lot of leaves. I'm thinking specifically of like Bertonier, or I guess it's Bertonier F, Bilobata, DS70. I'm not sure what that one is. But there's a lot of plant to be cleaned when I get working on that one in particular. My Hoya Sunrise is also very long. My Hoya, it's at least as long. Hoya Carnosa Crimson Queen. My Crimson Princess didn't do very good this year. I cut it back thinking that would encourage some better growth. Still doesn't look great. So, I don't know. But either way, even like that Hoya Pubicalyx, if you've been hanging out with me for a while, you've seen it. It just gets bigger every year. It's dense, I think is what it is with that plant. But yeah, that's one, I clean that too. Every single leaf that I can get to. I wish that I could do it more often for my plants. I really do. I wish it was something that I could do weekly, even monthly. But it's basically, I walk by a plant and I'm like, oh, you really need a wipe in. Those are the ones that I seem to get to. I'm not gonna mess with that new leaf too much. It's got one new leaf coming in there. It's cute. I like it. But yeah, that's basically what I do. Like I said, it gives me a chance to kind of look at every leaf. This one had mealy bugs, so that's part of the reason why I picked this one to wipe down. I don't see anything on it anymore. Yay. I didn't do anything except for spray it with alcohol, I think, several times. And I'll probably keep that up. I don't think I'll do it quite as diligently as I have been, because like I said, I don't see anything anymore. But I'll do it, when I water it, I'll take it and maybe give it a spritz. This is an anthurium. I think I just hauled it in the day before yesterday's video. Time is an illusion. And it's new, so I haven't done anything to it except for spritz it. And I'm gonna go ahead and scrub it. I've looked at it quite a bit. I didn't see anything on here. I wish I could tell you exactly what this anthurium is. I always want to say Oaxaca. I think maybe that's because it's like that most common anthurium. Maybe it's a hybrid, like a Oaxaca hybrid. I'm not sure. If anybody knows, put it down in the comments so we can all know. I can't remember. But anyway, it just said anthurium variety. And I I haven't had one in a while, so I'm really happy to have it actually. Just this very common, very easy, very tolerant anthurium. I don't mind a challenge, but sometimes it's nice to have a plant that doesn't want to challenge you at all. It's just like, yeah, water me, feed me, put me in some appropriate light, and I'll just be happy forever. I do appreciate those kind of plants more and more. The longer I grow plants, the more I appreciate the ones that don't give me a hard time at all, ever. It's very, very nice to just grow a plant that actually wants to grow in my conditions. So, and I won't mess with the emergence, particularly on anthurium, because they can be a little picky about being manhandled. But not on most plants actually if I'm scrubbing, do I scrub the newest leaf, unless it's, you know, been there a minute and looks like it can take my vigorous scrubbing. But yeah, I don't know. I like this one. It's so simple. That's a really cute inflow, spathe. I don't know. The modified spathe on these. It's really pretty. Or the modified leaf. I don't know what you call that. What do you call that? Where it flowers. It's so pretty. It's the darkest thing. Sorry, I do have a lot of the lights turned off in here right now because, like I said, this is the most relaxing plant chore to me. So I'm just chilling. That and my Sansi helicopter light quit. 2 years, I think I had it. And it was doing a great job. I came up this morning and it should have automatically come on. It wasn't on. So I messed with it and messed with it and it never would come on. But yeah, so I gotta get a new bulb for that fixture. This is Alocasia tigrina, superbum, I don't know. Tigrina, I think that's what I purchased it as. It's a spider mite magnet, and I don't actually see any on it now. That doesn't mean they're not there. I'm gonna wipe it down anyway. This light from this light is making me look, it's giving me Morticia Addams vibes. I don't know, like just the way it's kind of hitting across my face. It's very interesting. Okay, so yeah, I'm gonna wipe this one down too. This one's actually been doing very good since being converted to pawn. Well, mostly pawn. I see some leca in there. It's got a lot of roots though. A lot of roots. I'm not sure how long I've had it in here. Better than a month. Probably better than 2 months now. I find that no matter how close I get the light to this Alocasia, like I know it's a kind of tall one, but no matter how strong the light is, it just wants to grow into the light, I guess is what I'm trying to say. And if I get it close, it'll just go right by it to keep going up. Up and away. It's definitely a long petioled type. It's pretty though. I do be liking it. It's just an unusual leaf shape for me in my collection. I don't really have many that have such huge lobes. Very elongated leaves and long petioles, and everything about this plant is just long. Sorry, I'm peeking at every leaf as I'm going around. It really hasn't had spider mites in a while, but there for a while I just couldn't keep them off of it either, so definitely trying to avoid a repeat of that. I just don't love spider mites. Does anyone? That might be the dumbest thing I've ever said. I don't love spider mites. I don't think anyone loves them, but let's see if I can. I think this might be the biggest leaf on it. I don't know. It's not huge, but it is very pretty. It is very pretty. I do like it quite a bit. It's got a new leaf coming in. There we go. What's the newest leaf? There's 2 plants in here, so I'm trying to see. Oh, that is the newest leaf on this one, with its very long ears up there. It's cool. I like it. Like I said, the roots have done great since being put in here. I guess maybe you can see them down there. Seem to be doing pretty good, so I'm happy about it. I'm just gonna put it down here in front of the fan before I stick it back under the light. Let it dry, let it dry. And this is my Alocasia cuprea, which feels pretty dry. No, it's not yet. Oh, it's got some roots though. This plant was dormant forever. This is the oldest leaf. It's probably pushing a year old. And it did nothing for a long, long time until I put out this leaf. And this leaf is probably, I'm gonna say 4 months old. Still very red. This leaf is starting to look its age though. But I'm finally getting a new leaf. Finally. I was starting to wonder if I ever was going to. I don't know, this one, it grew great for me at first. I think it went dormant. It missed a couple waterings, went dormant, and then I chucked it in this pond. And it's been really slow to get itself back together. Really slow. But it's okay. I am a patient lass. I do think it's a very pretty one when it's not covered in dust or spider mites. Very pretty. Oops. I'll flip the leaf inside out. I was scrubbing on it too hard. Looks good though. I just wish it would grow a little faster. Maybe this one just isn't loving pond the way it loves soil. Maybe it needs an up pot. I mean, it does have roots coming out kind of everywhere, to be fair. That and it may be going dry in here. This one I can't see through the container and it doesn't have like a window to let me know how much water or nutrients or whatever are in there. Maybe it's gone dry several times, probably. This is, I think, Alocasia bambino, which it just spit out a new leaf and it's looking pretty bad. And once again, I don't know if I've let it dry out or what's going on with it. It's growing a new leaf, but this leaf hasn't been there that long to be looking so bad. I don't know. Not sure what's up there. But we're gonna clean it. I wonder if it's spider mites. I don't think it is spider mites. I mean, I don't know. We'll clean it up anyway. It looks more like a watering issue than any kind of mite damage because it's kind of yellowing around the edges. I don't know. I'm sure cleaning it with some alcohol won't hurt. The new leaf looks okay. I'm not going to mess with it, the one that's coming in. Sometimes I'll kind of wipe up it gently while it's still furled if it looks like it needs my help, but I don't think that plant needs anything from me just yet. This is the Alocasia scalprum that I just potted up, I think in yesterday's video, but it's actually been in here 2 days. I actually did it the day before yesterday for me, but I just posted it yesterday. And it looks okay. The new leaf even looks pretty good for transitioning from soil to pond. It's holding its own pretty good. It's actually kind of like, this is the oldest leaf. This one was also facing downward, so they're both more upright than they were in soil. So maybe this one won't get too angry with me. Plants that have a texture like this, I do try to remember to scrub them maybe a little bit more often, because spider mites and stuff really do seem to like to get down in all the little, the grooves and nooks and crannies. So I don't want them there. I think it does help with pest reduction, help reduce pest pressure, as well as make your plant look better. I think. That's my humble opinion. At least I figure it surely can't hurt. This is the Anthurium luxurians X radicans that I am attempting to convert to leca. Once again, this is just a very textured plant. Very, is bolete the word I'm looking for? I don't know. But just keep any pesties out of there. Any little pesties that might be trying to hang out. Pretty! Still has the same damage. I don't see it continuing, but I figured just in case it's something I can't see. I'm pretty sure that was already there. Maybe I should look back at the video. But yeah, it hasn't been continuing or anything, so I'm not overly concerned. Homelamina Selby. Like I said, the greenhouse can be really hard on leaves, so this is so dusty. So dusty. Some plants are just like dust magnets. I don't know if I've ever noticed any pests on this. I had a emerald, Homelamina emerald or something. It looked very different. The leaf shape and obviously the color. It was all a dark glossy green. This plant is not shiny. And the emerald is. But for whatever reason, I couldn't keep spider mites off of that one. I want to say it was spider mites. This one here, I haven't really noticed any particular pest loving on it. So I guess that's a good thing. I have, however, had some problems with watering. Like, I know it's a dramatic plant, understood, but like I can water it and then come back that afternoon and it'll be like thirsty again after it's perked back up, which makes me think it's a root problem. I think I've been saying for a while that I need to unpot this plant and see what's going on in there. I don't know. I have 2 of these and camouflage somewhere. And this is really the only one that does it. Is this it? Or is this the perky one? This might actually be the perky one. I don't know where the angry one is. Probably somewhere real pissed off right now. But yeah, I don't know what's up with that. It's the only one I have that particular issue with. So if I had it with all of them, I'd be like, oh yeah, it's just a Homelamina thing, but I am wiping the immersion on this one because it's a tough, thick leaf and it can handle it. I got one crispy leaf I'm going to cut off while I'm here. If I can find some snips. There we go. Just not looking the best anymore. Oh, there's another new leaf over here. And I think it helps them in my lower humidity situation. I think kind of just gently wiping them with some warmth and some damp will help them unfurl. That one just popped itself loose already. Like instantly. That one must not be ready. But yeah, I just think it looks better cleaned up. Alocasia dragon scale. I think it's just collecting dust. It looks like one of the oldest leaves might be getting ready to grow. I wish it was going to grow. It's got 2 new leaves coming though. On each, there's 2 plants and a third on the way. Another corm is spreaded somewhere down in there. It's just collecting dust. To my knowledge, that's all that's wrong with it. And this one seems to have been being converted to pon. I don't think it really threw too much of a fit, if I recall. How's the roots? They're finer on this one, but I can see them. Let me see if I can show you some. don't trust these bottoms not to go. You can kind of see some in there. This is definitely one of my favorite alocasia. It's the color, it's the leaf shape, it's the ease of care. I don't have to look at it. That sounds terrible, but I love to look at it. I want to look at it, and I do all the time, but I don't have to, and I can be fairly certain that it's going to be fine when I go back to it. It's that kind of plant. It's that kind of plant, which I definitely appreciate. Definitely do. Just always looks great. I don't want to mess with the new leaves too much. I'm just peeking to make sure there's not like a nest of spider mites in there or something. I don't see anything, so I'm going to call that done. So pretty. Maybe if I hold it up here where the light's actually hitting. It's so weird, like across my face it's very white from that light. Philodendron Jose Bono, I don't know how to say that. It's not looking too bad. It's got a stink bug. It had a stink bug. I guess now the cat has a stink bug. She'll be sorry. But this one's doing okay. It's got a couple of the lower leaves looking pretty tatty, looking like they might have had something a little bit fungal at some point. Not sure. But the newer leaves all look pretty good, so I'm not going to let it stress me too much. I do spritz this one kind of when I water it. I've never had any real fungal issues on this, like rust or anything like that. I've not had anything like that. So for that I am grateful. For that I am most grateful. I have had spider mite issues with it. And maybe even thrips a time or two. But overall, this plant really doesn't cause me too much stress. I actually cut this down last year at this time. And I think this was the top cutting. I'm pretty sure. And it was mostly because it kept falling over. This plant gets pretty big, pretty heavy, pretty quickly. And I had it on one of the metal round poles, you know, just the DIY poles that a lot of people make on their own. And it would pull itself over, like as the pot got lighter. Even in a heavier cover pot, it would still fall over. And that was not a good time for me. The leaves were looking awful. I mean, they looked absolutely horrendous. So I chopped it. And I don't have any regrets for having done that. The plant looks better. It's been a little bit more manageable on a plastic back pole as far as keeping it hydrated. The pole is actually lighter than because I use a metal wire, than that was. I don't know, it's just been going a little bit better so far. Then again, this plant is not as big as it was when I cut it down. So, you know, ask me in 6 months if I if I still feel this way. This plant, it's funny, I've seen some people's and they're really shiny. Mine is very matte. Like the leaves when they're new are quite shiny. But they become matte very quickly. I don't know if people are like shining the whole plant or what. Like even clean, mine are not shiny unless they're new. Like the 2, maybe 3 newest leaves will be kind of shiny. Glossy, I mean. I don't know, but it sure do look nice when it's all cleaned up. I'm gonna leave its tatty old leaves on it. That's the newest leaf currently. This one's starting to dry. I don't know if you can see the difference between the more matte nature of this leaf and the shinier nature of this leaf. Not sure because I just cleaned this and it's wet. But either way, I do like this plant quite a bit. It's definitely a space hog. And I've seen several of these plants that are massive with leaves bigger than my torso. So I don't know. And it roots okay into the pole. It does. It did it pretty quickly too, so it's dry as usual. This one does dry out really quickly. The pot, I keep the pot on the drier side. I find this plant is very sensitive to overwatering. It hates it, my opinion. But my opinion based on my experience, so take it with a grain of salt either way. That's hilarious. I look so pale. I can see myself in the little monitor down here. I don't know. Anyway, yeah, the camera overheated. So this is my Ficus elastica shiveriana, which I want to say this went out in the greenhouse and it didn't do the most out there. It's actually grown 4 leaves since coming back in, and that's half the plant. I don't know, it did okay. Hasn't been too pesty. It had some spider mites, but everything gets spider mites, so. Ooh, and I can feel that I've sprayed this one with the neem and tea tree oil. It's a little sticky. So I guess it's a good thing I'm getting around to finally wiping this one. Get some of that sticky off there. And I'll use this alcohol, soap, and water on any plant. Even like velvet leaf, philodendron, or anthurium, or whatever. And it doesn't seem to hurt anything. Like I said, I just don't tend to mess with new leaves too much, unless it's a kind of tough leaf anyway, and I know it can take the abuse. Otherwise, I leave it be. If I'm not sure, if in doubt, I leave it be. But most of them don't really seem to mind too much. I think most of my ficus, you'd think they'd be dusty because a lot of them have big leaves. Now the fiddle leaf fig, when I had that one was a dusty one. But this one here, not too bad. Maybe you just can't see it because of the coloration of the leaves. Maybe I just can't see the dust. I see it some on I have the burgundy, taniki, and ruby all together in a pot in the other room. I do see some on that one. But still not as bad as you'd think. It's got, you know, big broad leaves. I don't know. This one looks pretty good though. Looks nice, all cleaned up. It really needs a repot. I watered this yesterday. Feels pretty dry. And it's leaning. And there's some roots exposed at the top. Another day. Then I have this. This is a Monstera aurea low variegation cutting. I had 2. I gave the one with higher variegation away, and I kept this one. I don't know why, but I don't know. If you're giving plants away, I wanted to give her the better one. So this is one of the cuttings that I have left. I just stuck it in moss maybe a week ago, and I have new growth. Yay, new roots. It had an aerial root, a little bit going on there, but you know, I wanted more, so I see more. I'm not sure what I'm going to pot this in. Probably leca, because I seem to have a ton of it all of a sudden. I don't think it matters. I think you can grow Monstera in just about anything. And I haven't found the aurea to be any more difficult, really, than any other deliciosa or borzigiana or, you know, whatever type. This one is a bit dusty. This one's a bit dusty. But overall, it's a good plant. It's a good plant. I guess I could pot that up pretty soon. I think this is the first time I had it in a cover pot just because it falls over as it dries, just to hold it upright. I think this is the first time I've actually pulled it out and looked at it. That's the only root I see though, is that main tap root, I guess. I don't see any secondary roots yet anywhere in there, do I? No. I don't know, I might give it a little bit longer, I guess. But yeah, I just wanted to pop in and say hello. I am getting ready to go and food myself, make myself some dinner. I'm not sure what we're going to be doing tomorrow in tomorrow's video. I have no idea. I might check on some propagations. I'm sure some have enough roots for me to pot up. I don't really wait for a whole lot of roots. I try not to. I've got so much stuff that's overgrown. And I have one propagation that I know has been sitting for a year at least. And I'm probably going to pot that up in some leca because I don't think it'll go well to soil at this point. I don't know. There's still plenty of chores for Vlogmas. It is getting much closer to Christmas. It's happening so fast, so fast. I feel like I just started Vlogmas and today's December 16th. It would be my mom's birthday if she was still alive, as a matter of fact. It's kind of depressing. I don't mean to sound that way, but it kind of is for me. It's a tough day. I miss my mommy. I do. And she's been gone for over 20 years now. You don't really get used to it, I guess. I don't care if I'm 80, I'll still be going, I miss my mommy. But anyway, I'm not trying to bring everybody down. Thank you for watching. Thank you for hanging out with me, and come back and check me out again soon. Bye.